Okay, so I want to talk to you a little bit about Yoast. You may have seen the post in our group and wondered what is Yoast and why we were talking about it in the first place. So to back up just a little bit, first you have to understand what search engine optimization is. If you're brand new to having a website, blogging, or all of those things, search engine optimization, or SEO, is just the way that you tag or identify different pieces of content out there in the digital world so that people can find them. So if you're writing about World War II, nurses in World War II, for example, and you are trying to build an audience of people coming to your website to learn more about um, American military service members or nurses or anything to do with World War II, you're going to want to make sure that you have World War II nurses, American service members, World War II, all of those types of things all throughout your site to increase your search engine optimization so that when someone goes, like say they go to Google and they are looking for stories about nurses in World War. You can already see kind of at the top of my screen where it's already starting to populate that. People are searching for stories of nurses in World War II. And if you have your SEO done properly, what the hope is that something on your website, if not your whole website, something is going to pop up in this first page. And to be honest, when you're looking, unless you're doing like a heavy duty research project, most people don't go past the first 2 or 3, maybe 4 pages of results, right? So you want to make sure that you've hit your results in those first couple of pages. SEO is the way that you do that. So first of all, you want to know that you're using a keyword that people are looking for. Just the fact that it auto-populated in Google is a good sign. You can also use some of the keyword tools that I've talked about in other trainings, the Google keyword tool, KDP Rocket, other things like that to see what are good keywords. But basically, this is such a big one. You know people are looking for this anyway. You know this is going to be a good keyword tool. So you're going to want to have both keywords for your site that go in the overall metadata so that when people are looking for it, it pulls up your site as a whole. And then you'll also want to have some cornerstone content that, since this is probably the big keyword, that you have a post or two that everyone comes to when they search for stories of nurses in World War II. You don't want too many. This is a totally, I mean, we could go into a big discussion on SEO, but let me just quickly say, you don't want too many posts that have the same keyword. You want your cornerstone content. You want 1 or 2 that are good content for that amount, but Yoast will flag you if you are using the keyword too often, because then it's confusing. Now, instead of that one thing being what comes back every time, now Google is trying to decide which one of your posts that are tagged women and nurses and stories of nurses in World War II is the most important one. So that's confusing for the whole system, and you don't want to go there. So basically, in order to find Yoast, now I can explain what Yoast is. Yoast is a plugin. I use WordPress.org for all of my websites. I started on Blogspot. When I started learning about having my own self-hosted website, I quickly realized I needed to be self-hosted, not on a free website, and the person that I was learning from at the time used WordPress, so I moved to WordPress. You can use other types of systems. I imagine that the back ends are similar. I'm not a website expert, so I do all my tutorials in WordPress, but from what I understand, the back end of many websites are very similar in terms of they have some type of plugin kit or something like that. So if you use something besides WordPress, then what I would suggest that you do is Google to see if there's a Yoast for Wix or Yoast for, whatever other thing you're using, or this may be a moot topic because maybe your site uses plugins just like this. Anyway, find an SEO tool. But this is going to be dedicated to people who use WordPress because they can use Yoast. And then I'll have to look and see if you can use Yoast on other sites. But you're going to go to your plugins, you're going to click on Add New, and you're going to search for Yoast. So assuming you know how to do all of that, you find Yoast, you're going to click on Install. There it is. And then you're going to, once it's installed, you're going to activate. And again, it's got lots and lots of downloads. It's updated very regularly. It's compatible. It's got lots of 5 stars. This is great. So what does Yoast help you do? Once you've loaded it in, it basically provides a tool to help you decide how good your search engine optimization is. It will provide you a stoplight tool in red, yellow, or green as to how good your post you are performing in that. So we're going to stick, even though I'm going to move back to a topic that I write about. Okay, so we're going to talk about book marketing tactics. Okay, now as soon as I put that title in there, I can start writing, but I'm going to jump down here into Yoast has its very own section down here. And right now it is telling me, and also you can't see this. Let me see if I can minimize this page so you can see my whole website. Up here, it's going to tell me that the readability is bad. Obviously, there's nothing there. And the SEO, there's nothing available for them to determine if it's good or bad. But once I come down here and put in my focus keyword, book marketing tactics, you immediately see it goes red up here, and it's now going to help me figure out what's going on. It's going to analyze it for me. Okay, so I haven't used, and it'll explain everything to me. I haven't put the focus keyword in the first paragraph. I haven't used a meta description that uses it. There's no text. Things that I can do to improve it. The title's too short. I've never used this focus keyword before, so that's good. You don't want to use these too often, and it'll explain some of these things. Then up here, this is pretty cool too. You can do some, it'll help you straight to doing some keyword research. So let's see, it'll take us to AdWords. It will take us to, if you know how to use that one, it'll take us to Google Trends. And you can search right here. So book marketing tactics. Let's see. There's not enough data, which usually is not a good thing. That means there's not a lot of people that have been searching for specifically for book marketing tactics. Now let me see what happens if I get rid of the tactics, the word tactics, if that makes any difference. Makes a big difference. So then it will show up and tell you it's not necessarily specific to book marketing, and it'll give you what is really trending on there. So you want to do a little bit of research, see if you have a good keyword, but make sure they're keywords that are applicable, that are being looked for, that let's just see, we can do it by just the United States. And see, I mean, it's kind of surprising to me that book marketing is not showing up as a keyword. I mean, you got digital marketing book. It may just be the way that people are putting them in here. So let's see if it's related topics, self-publishing. Okay, but self-publishing is overused. I don't want to use that again. I have it already. So I'm going to go ahead and use book marketing, but maybe not tactics. Or I might, oops, you know what? I spelled that wrong. That will make it difficult. Okay, so in a nutshell, though, you can spend a lot of time fussing around, making sure that you have the perfect keyword. But it's my opinion that there will be more and more people searching for book marketing tactics because self-publishing is growing. So just because it's not an active and engaged keyword now doesn't mean that it can't be in the future or that it won't grow. I mean, you have to be careful on things like this Bitcoin is a perfect example. Like we talk about what you should write books about and all those types of things. And I usually advise people, if there's nothing written on the topic, then that may not be a great place to start because no one's buying it. But something like Bitcoin is a perfect example where nobody had written a book on Bitcoin yet because nobody knew about it. But once it exploded, now that book sells like hotcakes because it was the first and the only one out there, right? So sometimes you have to take a leap of faith that if you are, know that it's a trend that's up and coming, whatever. I'm totally getting off topic here. Let's talk about something about what you do. So we've chosen book marketing tactics. That is our topic. That is our keyword. And now we're going to let Yoast tell us how to make it stronger. So we need it in the first paragraph of the copy. So, and also they like it when you use headers. So I can go ahead and put a heading in here, whatever size, however you like it. Your quick start guide to book marketing tactics. Now it's in a header. Book marketing tactics. And you don't want to overuse it, so you're going to use it a couple of times and then not use it 1,000 times in different ways. There are a variety of book marketing tactics that will help you sell your book. Okay, now the best way to get your green light for, see, it's already turning orange. I've used it a couple times. I've used it at a header. I've used it at the beginning. It's in the URL of the post. However, I'm super short on content. They really want you to get to a certain level of content. So you want to try and aim for about 300 words. You don't have to write, a novel here. I've already turned green because of the few things that, oh no, it's back to orange again. Sorry, that was just because it was updating. Some of the best ways you can make sure that it appears in places are in your SEO title. So I can say your quick start guide to book marketing tactics. And you want it to get to orange there. So I'm going to keep typing in stuff until this bar turns green. You want it green. For new authors. Boom. Okay, there we go. And then I'm going to put in a meta description so that, again, these are things that all help Google find your topic. Marketing a book is one of the most difficult elements for new authors and even those who have published more than one book. Okay, we're in the green, so I could stop there. The important thing is to stop before it turns red. Here are some book marketing tactics for you to try. Perfect. It's still green. I haven't written too much. I'm not in the red. All right, we are readability. I'm still in the orange. And that's because it's too short. I don't have a picture. I don't have an outbound link. There's all kinds of other things that I'm missing. And so it is still going to be orange. But I can come down here and I can say, okay, I've done those main things. I know it's in the good places. It's going to tell me down here, good job, good job. You're doing all of these things right here. But these red things are a problem. No images appear. Images are great because it helps when you post it on something to draw on the attention. A pinnable image is great if you're using Pinterest. But the biggest thing is that I really need to be writing more content in here. As soon as I add a bunch of content, that's going to turn green, and it will probably turn the whole post green. Using outbound links is great. So if I want to link to somebody else's article on book marketing, like I might throw in here something from Rachel of Bad Redhead Media. Once I get that content, once I get an outbound link, and if I add an image that also has it in the SEO in the alt text, then I'm going to be golden. So that's just an overview now of how you use Yoast and how it can help you really improve your SEO. Now, just because it's green, again, doesn't mean it's going to help you find it right away. Because if I type in a keyword, if I use a keyword, say I use my keyword Alexa's favorite books, Well, what are the odds? Well, these days that's a bad example because of Amazon, but let's say Lucy's favorite books. What are the odds that somebody's going to search for Lucy's favorite books? I can SEO the heck out of this post so that Yoast says it's green and ready to go, but if nobody searches for Lucy's favorite posts, it doesn't matter. So knowing about SEO and knowing how to find a good keyword are very helpful, and then Yoast will help you make sure that you've done your post so that people can find it.